Hello, and welcome to 97.9 Unity Radio, the best sports talk show in all of Massachusetts, in all of Vermont, in all of New Hampshire, in all of Connecticut, Delaware, Rhode Island, and New York. That's what we bring to the table. And we have such a special guest tonight because we are so big time. We managed to get a state senator on our show. That's how big we are. That's the pull that Moneyline has. That's the pull that Frank Cristiano has.
A lot of juice.
97.9 Unity Radio. Worcester, you're getting a treat. You're getting such a treat right now. You get a senator for the next couple shows.
What people don't know about Senator Joe Gifford from the great state of New York is that he was actually a second baseman for the New York Yankees in 1981.
Oh, he was.
He was. It was a short career. It was an injury-laden career, but he did
Phil
play.
Rizzuto taught me everything I knew, and his scooter was
Scooter was tight. Scooter was tight.
Scooter was tight.
Absolutely.
We do have the Baseball Hall of Fame here, though, right?
It is a fantastic thing.
And the commissioner of Major League Baseball is from Rome,
New York.
Yes.
You know, Joe, when they had the Hall of Fame games, when they used to bring in two major league teams to play against each other, I used to be the color commentator for IBX.
Wow.
So I would actually, they give me a little tape recorder back then. I can go on the field and I would interview Cal Ripken. And I'm like, what the hell do I know? You know, but I'd interview all these guys. It's fantastic. I thought it was the greatest thing I've ever done. It was great.
Well, some of those guys at the Hall of Fame, too, when you meet them, like everybody else, they're all different personalities, right? But they're exceptional people. But the guy that I had met with, and I just thought was not only a superior athlete in his time, but also just a quality person, was Harmon Killebrew.
Yes.
Remember Harmon Killebrew from the Minnesota Twins?
Minnesota Twins.
And he was just a nice guy, too. You know,
there are so many great.
He golfed here, too. He came here for a golf.
Did he really?
Yeah, because my father got his autograph, Harmon Killebrew and Warren Spahn.
At the Onondagas?
Shenandoah.
Shenandoah. Oh, my God.
Shenandoah.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome.
So you must have some Red Sox fans listening here, right? Probably.
Oh, yes. And can we do a Woo Sox show?
I understand that John Henry's yacht was on the St. Lawrence, very close to us recently.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And no one tried to sink it?
Pretty big yacht, you know. We were trying to fire from Sackett's Harbor, you know, like the War of 1812.
That's right. That's right. Launch it. Launch it.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out because the Sox normally spend a ton of money. They just buy the best players. And this year they are absolutely atrocious. And it's ownership, John Henry, we don't know why they stopped spending money. And it even trickled down to the Worcester Red Sox. They're signing a bunch of reach reds and bringing them in. So he's definitely trying to buy low and make more money.
Yeah.
They're not that big market.
I don't know if that's working very well right now, right?
Maybe he's taking a Moneyball approach, right? Like Billy Bean there, you know.
He's sick of spending money.
Yeah, but so that's what actually this show is based out of Worcester, Mass.
Okay.
So the Worcester, the Woo Sox are the AAA affiliate of Boston. So there is definitely a Red Sox hometown feel to the station and to the show itself.
Well, Henry's a quality guy. I got the opportunity to meet him. I was a friend of the former mayor of Boston, unfortunately deceased, but he was an extraordinary.
I loved him.
Tommy Menino.
Yes.
Tom Menino. They used to call him Mumbles, but Tom was just not only an extraordinary mayor, but an exceptional man. And got to know him, and he brought me to a game one night, and I'm wondering. These seats got to be good. I go, we're going to this game with the mayor, right? And I end up in John Henry's box with John Henry, and it was just calling all my buddies that are Red Sox fans. So you'll never believe where I am. I'm a Yankee fan, so it's
that's a great thing. You know, I caught a baseball. My only baseball I've caught at a game was at Fenway, and we went on a bus trip from here to Utica to Fenway to see the Red Sox and Brewers play in 1985.
Wow!
And I caught a ball. So Jim Rice and Dwight Evans were sandwiched in between a backup third baseman who was covering for Wade Boggs, and his name was Eddie Urach. So I caught Eddie Urach's foul ball down the first base line. So that was a bummer. I thought Rice or Evans, that would have been fantastic.
That's amazing. I mean, when you think of some of those guys, though, through the history, the rich history, and they finally broke the curse of the Babe.
Yeah,
right? And
that's a beautiful stadium. I love Fenway Park.
Wrigley Field, same way.
Yep.
You know,
trying to keep that old feel, that old game feel. You know.
A Polar Park is really nice too.
I've never been there.
I know. We gotta go. You're
Yeah.
gonna take me to Worcester.
Is that what I want to do? Take you to Worcester.
Where's Polar Park in Worcester? Because
Polar
I'm
Park.
trying to remember all the names of the stadiums now, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's like sold the naming rights. So I'm trying to figure out who is who and where is what right now.
That's a
Polar Park is the Worcester Red Sox.
Okay, so that's a great.
I just call it MetLife right now because it's not even MetLife, I don't think, anymore, but it's just MetLife to me. I'll never forget it. And that's the only thing I can remember.
You know, and as a Yankee fan, you grew up hating some of the Red Sox, right?
Sure.
So Pedro comes to Albany one day, and I'm thinking like, I gotta hate this guy, right? Especially because he pushed Don
Zimmer
down,
rolled
right?
him to the ground there. It's terrible.
And when I got to meet him, and I had to learn a little Spanish because I wanted to talk to him in
Right,
Spanish, and then he
right.
came right back in English, right? But he was amazing. He was actually a good guy.
Yeah.
And he told me the story of Zimmer and told me how later that night they were all together.
He felt bad about it.
But he did. And the key though that impressed me the most is how he handled the youngsters that were there, all the kids.
Right.
He didn't refuse signing things for them. He was at the state capitol in Albany,
Okay.
and he probably had gone to the hall in Cooperstown and somehow came up,
Sure.
and we all got a chance to just say hi to him. And I thought he was very personable, but I was really impressed with the way he handled the young fans.
So you're saying he did not tell you that was actually all scripted and Zimmer knew he was going to roll over and fall down? That was all play
No, he
acting?
didn't say
He didn't
that.
say that?
you know,
Oh,
so-
that's too bad.
So, and then I got a chance to meet Big Papi last
Oh,
year.
you did, David
So,
Ortiz.
There's a big man, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So, and he was an interesting character too. So these guys are larger in life, and we've had a lot of local talent in this coming from Central New York,
Absolutely.
and it's tough here because the weather doesn't work for us, right?
No,
But we had Archie Cianfrocco from Rome who played with the Expos and then the Padres.
Yep.
He had Lemke
Yep.
from
Vance Slyke.
Vance
Atlanta.
Slyke from New
Vance
Hartford,
Slyke with the
played
Pirates.
with Pirates
Yep.
in St. Louis,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And Atlanta for Lemke, right? I think he was
Yeah,
in the
Atlanta
Braves,
for Lemke,
so.
basically. Sure.
Yeah.
No, it's been great. Yeah.
But-
And you're right. The weather plays a big factor here as far as baseball productivity for guys being drafted because it's a tough gig right now. How many? Look at this year. Look how bad this year was for high school and college baseball in this area. It was terrible. Weather.
That's why there's a lot of hockey here, So,
Yeah,
That's right. That never goes
And
bad.
that brings us into the Boston audience again because the
Yes.
owners of the Bruins are from Buffalo, right? Delaware North.
Right.
So
Right.
the
That's right.
Jacobs,
That's
Jacobs family.
It's a great
It's
thing.
kind of an interesting thing.
It is
right?
how it all ties in, Money travels, Joe. Money travels. Doesn't matter where it is, it'll travel.
It does. It does. And Frank, our good friend Maria Conlon,
Oh, yeah. She loves me.
she wanted me to ask you about this
Yep.
because you love the WNBA so much.
Sure.
So the WNBA
Uh-huh.
is adding 2 more expansion teams
Great.
in the next few years.
Should be big.
Yes. Yeah. So now there's going to be 3 new teams coming in.
Uh-huh.
And she wanted.
And that makes six total teams in WNBA. How many
They're
teams
going-
do they have?
No, actually, I'm sorry, 3. They're going to Cleveland,
Uh-huh.
Detroit,
Yes.
and Philadelphia.
Okay.
And then next year there's a Toronto team.
Toronto.
So now
Okay.
you're getting 4 teams
Okay.
in the next 4 years. So she says,
Are they expanding a little too fast?
so
Are we going ahead? Is the cart going ahead of the wheel?
so she says, Frank, you say nobody watches the WNBA.
Right.
Nobody likes the WNBA.
Right.
Why are we getting expansion teams?
Right. Well, you know what it is? You have so many players that cannot play basketball right now because there's only 12 teams in the WNBA right now?
There's 13.
There's 13. Oh, they had to have an odd number. That makes total sense. So 13 teams, and bottom line, you're going to try to make expansion to give some more players the opportunity to play. But even with the fanfare that has been going on in the WNBA this last 2 years with the Caitlin Clark theory. Oh, we have a.
Yes, thank you. Tante grazie, grazie.
There's some old
I
Italian.
feel like
guy
I'm in the
came
north
and gave
end
it.
of Boston right now.
Basically,
so,
we are. Basically, we are in Little Italy in Boston. Basically, so what you're trying to say is they're doing this. I think they're doing this expansion just to obviously
Well,
employ more players.
it's not going to be all at once.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Is it a
18
20-year period? Do they
by
put the 4 teams?
2030, by 2030.
2030. That's what kind of expansion is
It's
that?
going to be like 1 team a year.
That's
1 team a
6.
year.
Then they're doing 6 teams.
There's going to be 4 teams.
4 teams in 5 years. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
that's how they're doing it.
So, but even with all the furor, the excitement of Caitlin Clark and the excitement of Angel Reese and the excitement of
There's no
the new-
excitement with Angel Reese.
there's a ton of excitement with Angel Reese.
Just
The betting lines are huge.
for Angel Reese.
Haven't you seen the viral videos that have been going on about the betting line on Angel Reese?
Well, yes.
Whether she makes or misses the first shot of the game,
Yeah.
some guys rode all their money. And I think it was
They've been
14 straight
doing it
games.
forever, yeah.
14 straight games she missed her first shot. They were up to like $360,000 on the bet line. It's crazy. But even with all that excitement going on,
she set the WNBA single game record
Yeah.
for rebounds.
yes, that's fantastic. Well, me bounds, not rebounds. They're called
That's what
me
they're
bounds because she
called.
just shoots it and she gets it right back for herself all the time. She rebounds all her misses. The thing is, the WNBA right now, even with all this fervor, will still lose $10 million.
That's your prediction for this year. They're going to
10 million. They will lose 10 million.
because they lost
You know-
50 last year.
Do you know that 50, I think it's 55 or 60% of the WNBA ownership is the NBA?
Yeah.
The NBA
that's
owns
why
it.
It's still alive.
Right, exactly. Because over the last, not decade, I would say 20-year period of the WNBA,
They've never generated a profit.
a profit. It generated a huge loss where the owners were crying.
Absolutely.
Right. So I don't know.
It's just a tax write-off.
Hey, listen, remember I told Maria that I was going to do that survey.
Yes.
I was going. So the survey was this. Well,
I guarantee he knows.
but I ask you, do you know who Diana Taurasi is? You do not.
Oh.
State Senator,
Such a
New York.
pleasure.
Maria, I want you to learn this right now.
Oh,
I want you to know this right now. This guy is a sports fanatic. He just named off the owners of the Boston Bruins. He named off Red Sox ownership. He talked about players from 4 different decades in baseball, including Harmon Killebrew. And he does not know who Diana Taurasi is. You're going to show her this video
my
right now.
God, yes.
She's going to see this video and she's going to understand that this is the average person in the country when we ask Diana Taurasi questions.
But in fairness to that, I mean, you can see that the WABA actually is growing and starting to capture attention and support.
Sure.
And I'll tell you where it's evident by. It's an interaction I had actually here. We have an AHL team in Utica,
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
a hockey
Yep.
team which
The
is affiliated with the Devils.
Yep.
And so one night I got asked to go to attend a game where they're trying to promote a women's version of the WNBA and the NHL.
Correct.
So, and there's a baseball tie to this. So this is kind of interesting. So I go to this thing and I got asked to do this. And then I was told, well, we got somebody else now doing it too, if you don't mind. It was the coach of the Comets at the time. I go, whatever you want to do. Then somebody comes to me and they say, well, we got somebody else here too now. And they're going to officially drop the puck because this is an investor in creating the new women's version in hockey of the WNBA, right?
Oh my
And
God.
and I don't know how this
I
all
had
about,
no
but the
idea.
guy that came out, so we go now and they introduced us all, and they introduced this guy from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and his name is Stan Kasten,
Stan Kasten.
who
Why
is
do I know that name and I can't
he's
put
one
it?
of the CEOs of the Dodgers.
CEOs. There we go. Thank
So
you.
I still so he's there and he's investing in this thing, and I'm
Sure.
sitting there walking on the ice with him, starting to talk to him. I contend that night was and he said, Captain, he goes, let's here's my card if you're ever in LA, but the bottom line was, the funny part is, he said, I got an important call to make, and the next day they signed Otani. So I think he signed Otani from Utica
Oh
that
my
night. So I
God.
mean, I don't know. That's
come
what I get.
on. Come
But-
on.
But he was big in this investment in the.
It would
And I'm
be
not
in
sure
LA.
what they're going to call it. Well, there were a number of teams, just like the NBA, WNBA.
Right,
They were
right.
looking at creating 6 teams in big cities like Boston, New
In the
York,
good
right.
markets, yeah.
and then I don't know kind of what happened.
Do they have
So,
to? Do they have to buy the trademark name WHL because that used to be the World Hockey League?
there
Is it
you
going to be
go.
the
I know,
Women's
that's
Hockey League?
interesting. I don't know. That's
No,
interesting.
Now,
I've not heard a lot about this, so I don't know. You guys cover
No,
it.
that's,
I don't
haven't
know.
heard
that, I haven't heard about it either.
let's go back. Let's go back.
That's huge.
Let's go back to the Diana Taurasi thing for just a
Oh,
second right now. So,
you got to throw it in.
and please, no, I think here's the thing. And Maria made a great point. If you're turning into the WNBA looking for the same type of player you're going to see in the NBA, then you're absolutely wrong. You're mistaken. You're not going to see that, but you're going to see a different style, which is fine. But here's the thing.
Team oriented stuff.
Yeah, right. Team oriented style. Yeah. So here's the thing. I've done a survey in my store. It's a small survey. I've only had about 15 people right now. One person out of 15.
1 out of 50.
1 out of 15 has said that they know Diana Taurasi. I'm gonna try to put the clips together. I haven't gotten enough. I've got to get a bigger sample.
Oh, you got video. Of
I got video. I have
evidence.
video clips of everyone just saying, all. I asked them, and most of them are women. Most of them are women. I'm grabbing women because I figure, hey, it's a female professional sport. They should be following. This is we're talking about the Michael Jordan of women's basketball, right? Diana Taurasi.
We had a debate about that.
See,
but yes.
So Diana Taurasi played for UConn. She won 3 national championships.
Right.
Yes.
3 national championships. Then she went pro in the WNBA, and she won how many championships in the WNBA? 3 more. So she's got 6. She's considered right now. And she's not in the WNBA anymore. She retired.
We debated this.
She's considered the Michael Jordan of women's basketball.
Okay.
I contend that. Maria contends that.
Yeah. Well,
other people don't.
Well, I agree. I agree with you.
You got to grow the fan base, though, right?
She
You still got to grow.
She loves your pizza too.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, look at how many people are watching the NCAA women's NCAA finals now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You go back about a decade, you didn't have that.
No,
There's many people now watching the NCAA women's national championship game as they are watching the men's now. So maybe this will all grow.
And my contention is it's because 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I think it was Dawn Staley with South Carolina, or 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago.
Dawn's tough.
Right,
Yes.
Dawn's tough. And now the rumor, and Dawn Staley, she's a head coach of South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball. The rumor is that she's in line for the interview for the Knicks job.
No.
Yes. Yeah,
Well,
that's
they
what
also said that our coach at UConn,
Yeah.
Danny Hurley,
Really
is in line.
in line for the Knicks job. Well, I understand that. So my thing is,
Oh my God!
That would be interesting. I mean,
Right.
that would be a first.
right.
Well,
First, that would be
had-
shocker to
they
New
had,
York.
Becky Hammond was an assistant coach.
Assistant, but never a head coach. We're talking about head coaching position.
That's wow.
But my intention, my whole point last week or the week before when we talked to Maria last week, is that it's Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark coming into this league. You've heard of Caitlin Clark,
I
right?
know who Caitlin Clark
So
is.
you know who
and
Caitlin Clark is, but you do not know who Diana Taurasi is.
I saw her in Albany, in all fairness, though, because they played.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know who Angel Reese is?
I am not a follower of the
Does
sport
not
right
know
now,
who Angel
so.
Reese is. Does not know who Diana Taurasi is, but knows Caitlin Clark. My point has been proven.
Your point has been.
My point has been proven in a small way, but it's been proven.
I'll be sure to let Maria. know.
She should be. It's going live. I'm sure she has this streaming to her house right now, and she's watching
Sorry, Maria.
it.
I'll get better. I will get better.
No, it's funny.
No, it is what it is. I'm trying to make a point. I understand. I just think it is a totally different game, and it's difficult for a certain sports segment to watch. For me, I can't. I tried it again.
No,
I said I'm a prover.
It's a team.
It could be whatever. It doesn't matter. Team.
No, it
Well, in all
matter.
fairness, though, a lot of people don't watch the NBA until the finals are coming in.
Yeah.
No, that's totally correct.
Or
Totally correct. But the diehard basketball
I'm not a
fan,
big
they're going
fan.
to watch NBA and not
Right.
WNBA just
Right.
because they can relate to it a little more. It's hard to relate to female basketball. Number one, if you're not a female, and you know what, the thing is, females don't support their own sports.
That, yeah,
There's no female market to be able to market to for female sports,
no, they get more kids, but you're right.
We're
You're
correct.
absolutely right.
and that's why the parents show up is because they're bringing their kids. If not, they would never show up.
No,
Right?
No, not at all.
All right, thank
Not
you.
at all.
Okay, I feel better. Been justified.
Okay. Well, since the NFL is coming up,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you about the big trade that happened. The Dolphins cornerback,
Yes.
Jalen Ramsey, he's one of the best, and their tight end, Jonnu Smith, to the Pittsburgh Steelers for all-pro safety Micah Fitzpatrick. And here's Cutler. Hi, Cutler. Well, you're on camera, so.
No, this is not.
Man.
This is not a normal podcast. We actually busted out the Italian delicacies. I have a little prosciutto di Parma. I have some dried Italian sausages that my father made. We have some hard crust bread.
I didn't see
A little
I didn't
manchego
get any
cheese.
sauce.
Extraordinary.
No, there's sausage right here. You can help yourself. Yeah, but so we busted out. I mean, granted, if it was just me and you, you'd have Ritz crackers and some cheese whiz.
Well, I know. We got
But the senator's here, so I mean, I got to up my game a little bit. He is part of my bloodline heritage of being Italian. So you know, we got no.
But not my blood.
No, you guys, you wear the drapes over your head, and you're already part of that whole Lebanese thing. Or
Mama D'Onofrio.
no, that's not. That's
way more.
that was
Italian.
that's not bloodline. That was called a mistake.
You can call it like we'll find a compromise here. You guys eat olives, right?
That's way.
Right?
Yes.
You eat olives, so you call it the olive caucus.
Right, the olive
Yeah,
caucus. That's right, back and
something
forth.
different now, right?
The wigs.
Yeah, and I got an Uncle Jim.
And that was a mistake. He admits that. He said there's something wrong. He doesn't know how they ventured off and they had you, but it is what it is, and it's over with now.
All right. So what do you think about the trade?
So
Because
I'm
Jalen Ramsey is one of the best.
Jalen Ramsey is probably the I would say still one of the top 3 cover corners in the NFL right now.
But I mean, he's 30. That was the issue.
Yeah, that's the issue, and money is always the issue too. He wants more all the time, so that makes a big difference. But the thing is that Minka Fitzpatrick is just really good.
Yes.
And he is in his prime as well right now, and he fit well with the Steelers scheme. But Jonah is the guy that actually beefs them up a little bit, I think, and it's something that actually swayed them to do the deal. Because they had to throw in another $1.5 million to Jalen. He needed more money.
Yes.
And they swapped some picks. I know the Steelers got a little lower pick, and Miami got, I think, a 5th rounder along with Fitzpatrick. But the thing is that I think the Steelers are trying to put together some kind of chemistry to make this one and done season with Aaron Rodgers happen.
Yeah, they have to.
You know what I mean?
This is it.
Right. It's a one and done season. They want to make the chemistry happen. And I think that's why they're going in a direction they're feeling that's going to help them.
Well, offensively.
Well, I think this is more. Yeah, it's Jonah. Listen, good receiver, but my thing is I think defensively is where they're going to have to solidify themselves even more
because they're not going to score.
They're not going to score enough points, I think, and that's a big thing. So hey, listen, if Aaron can get you to 20 a game, 22 a game, 25 a game, then you got a chance to win if Pittsburgh can hold it down. And I think that's they're going to be their focus right now is to beef up the defensive side of the ball. Because I don't know how much they're going to be able to score.
Senator, Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets quarterback last year.
Yeah.
He tore his Achilles the year before.
Yeah, didn't do anything that year.
What are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers?
I think it's time for Aaron to pack it up.
You think he should?
Yeah, I think it's time to pack it up. So I mean, you can't deny and allow somebody to continue, but at some point, what can truly contribute to the team's success? I mean, he's no Josh Allen, right? I mean, and
not anymore,
when you look at it, and I think you have to look at that. Look at Tom Brady. I always hated Tom Brady, but I like him because I'm a Raiders fan.
Right.
And he's part owner of the Raiders. Yeah. So now I got.
You're a Raiders fan?
I'm a Raiders fan.
Oh my God, you've been
I can't wait.
Sulking in mediocrity
Oh my
for
God.
years.
You're a Redskins fan,
and we're up on the rise now. We're like the hottest stock on the stock market.
Washington, what now? The Commanders?
I don't even call that anymore. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I can't say Redskins when I go to the casino, but after that, when I'm out, it's Redskins. I can't do it. I just internally it's hard.
I say Frank left the reservation for 2 years.
Yes.
And was a Lions fan.
I did.
And
I saw Doug Williams when he was a quarterback. I saw that Super Bowl.
Fantastic, man. Were you there?
Denver, Washington. Yeah.
Yep.
That's he was the MVP.
Right.
Yeah. Fantastic kid. Fantastic game.
Was the running back
Timmy Smith? Yeah, Timmy Smith. They were on. They were on that game. Listen, that was their year. I haven't seen it since.
That's the problem. Been a long time for us.
It's been a 20. For Raiders,
Silver and Black. We need to. I'm excited more about the biopic coming on and John Madden than I am maybe about the season. I'm not sure anymore.
You don't want any Raiders on the biopic because that could be automatic death sentence.
Well, the Raiders, I think now that their quarterback situation is fixed.
Hopefully.
I think Geno Smith is going to be perfect for them.
And the coaching hopefully will stabilize now too. And. So, and there's still a Davis in the ownership, so we'll see.
Yeah, I know.
It's not the same though, when you see the younger version of like L. Davis or George Steinbrenner, right? You don't have the boss.
Got the mop top on.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting season. I mean, but the Bill fans are all excited. So that's kind of what happens there.
Yeah.
Do they make it? Do they get there?
I don't know. I mean, they did a basic upheaval on the receiving core.
That was everyone's complaint.
And I think
they let everyone.
They may have cut themselves too deep on that, but I don't know. I don't know.
They think they're putting too much on Keon Coleman.
Right. Well, they're putting too much on Josh Allen.
Yeah. But they have good tight ends.
No. They I think they believe they have what they need to keep contending. So it is what it is. You can't doubt what they're doing because they've done the right thing. They've grown every step of the way.
And
now
what
they have, they just run into Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. That's the problem.
Right.
So that happens to teams a lot of times. You run into that one team that holds you back. Yeah. So, but I think again, Buffalo will definitely obviously be in the mix. Kansas City's still going to be in the mix. The AFC is a tough conference.
By
to where
far,
in the NFC you can kind of see the distancing, the separation after 2 or 3 teams.
Yes.
The AFC, you're at Baltimore now. You're 5 or 6 deep as far as who could contend.
I don't like Baltimore.
Well, listen, let Lamar Jackson, you can't.
Lamar
What
Jackson.
about Gag Green? Huh?
Gangrene, that's another one too. I mean, bottom line,
Could be the year
Yeah,
coming back.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They got to solidify the quarterback spot. Who are they gonna? Is it
Who are you talking?
the Jets?
Oh,
The Jets.
Oh, they're going to be awful.
Yeah, I mean, who they have two quarterbacks. They obviously haven't chosen who they want yet because they got to get through camp. But bottom
No,
line,
you're thinking of the Giants. The Giants have the two quarterbacks.
no, the Jets have two quarterbacks.
Now the Giants have what's his name? Russell Wilson
Russell Wilson, no,
and the Jameis Winston.
the Giants had signed Russell Wilson. I'm sorry. So the Jets have the
They
kid from
traded for
Pittsburgh.
They traded for your favorite guy from Ohio State.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Are you right? I did make a mistake. I thought the Jets had two quarterbacks that they were
No, that's
moving on for.
That's
Okay,
the Giants.
I gotcha.
Everyone complained about the Jets.
Yeah.
Because of who they signed.
That's right. Good luck then. You're right. Yeah, the Jets are going to. I'm sorry, Senator. I'm going to take that back right now.
Running game. They have a good running game.
Yeah, they do. I'm going to take that back. The Jets are going to have a tough season this year.
So what happens to an NFL coach that goes to the college ranks? So what does Belichick do now? Does he become successful? Besides having a squeeze.
He's been spending.
Does have a squeeze.
Spending a lot of money.
I think that he's going to have. He needs to spend some money to put that girl on a plane and get her out of the state. He can't.
The assistant GM.
Yeah, the assistant GM. That's right. Yeah, they got to get her. They got to get her far away from that program, or else that program will not have any success whatsoever. They'll be more interested about the fights on the field between the head coach and his assistant GM than the actual players in the game itself.
Well, yeah, that's ridiculous. But
and what do you think about the college game now? I think this is something that we need to really address right now from an NCAA perspective, right? When you look at the transfer portal and things of that nature.
We need legislative help. You guys got to help us, Joe.
Well, the interesting part there is that the head of the NCAA is a former governor
Charlie
of Massachusetts.
Baker. I know. He won't do anything.
Right.
So Charlie's got to get some, get in there and say, look, this is a problem, and we've got to find some balance here. It was wrong before. And I think the name, image, and likeness makes sense, where you're moving in that direction.
NIL, yep.
But the transfer portal is ridiculous right now. They think that you're not going to start, so I'm leaving. I'll see
insane.
you. Insane. And, it's insane.
You as a coach, how do you plan your season out?
Right, it's ridiculous, and I think that's one of the reasons Nick Saban left. He saw that, and he knew that in Alabama, you can't. So, and I always admired him.
Develop players that way. Charlie Baker. The reason this is happening is, every time they've gotten sued, they've lost. So he's afraid to put in any legislation on the transfer portal, on NIL, on paying players, because somebody sues them, they lose. Right now, Title IX is suing them because there's a cap, $20 million per team, that you can pay athletes, not just football, all your athletes.
Right.
So Title IX, they're saying that the female athletes are not going to get paid the same as the male athletes.
Well, it's not going to be the female athletes. It's going to be here's the budget. I'm going to be.
But not every team is going to have $20 million.
No. I'm going to be right off the bat. Not every college program is going to have $20 million to spend. I'm going to be the athletic director, and I'm going to budget out. Joe, here's how we're going to go. 95% is going to go to the football team, and 5% is going to go to men's basketball, and everyone else is on their own. Right or wrong?
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, that's what you see. But on the other hand, when you see growing popularity of lacrosse, things of that nature right now, too, so some of these people are bringing money into the stadiums.
Right. But that'll be NIL money.
But you're true.
Yeah, that'll be for the two or three superstars. There'll be NIL money. The rest of that money that they're going to get, the $20 million, that's the stated law. It's going to go to whatever sport brings in money.
Yeah. And
but it's broke, and we need to fix it. I mean, that's the problem, and nobody's fixing it, despite the potential litigation and things of that nature.
Joe, when they opened it up, they opened up Pandora's box.
Right, absolutely.
You cannot bring it back, and you can't rein it in. So, bottom line, you created another pro sports organization.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, they're trying to legislate the transfer portal so you can only transfer one time. That is
right.
Okay. That is work. That has been up for a vote. And I think they're voting on it soon.
I mean, it helped Syracuse last year, right? When they brought in,
huge.
So I mean, that was.
State.
But I think that's how that was. Made sense. The guy's not playing. he transfers, he helps another team, right? What I have a problem with is when I see these guys go and they
2 or
just
3 times.
they run a tantrum though, right? They're not starting, so I'm leaving.
They're out.
And
They're out, or they're not getting enough money,
right,
and then they're out. They think they're going to get more money somewhere else.
Well, this is what we found out today. Dave and I, we were looking at it. There's no more national letters of intent the kids sign.
Really?
They sign financial aid agreements.
No shit.
Yeah. So the national letter of intent used to be binding.
Right.
So this was the first year that they dumped it. And basically you're signing a financial aid agreement for full aid. And then on top of that, you get your NIL money, or the money this year will be coming from the school.
We talked about
a lot
of these Division I teams are not going to have the budget like that, the 20 million.
No.
They're going to drop down in divisions.
Well, yeah. I think probably D3 or D2 or FCS, because
Right.
Even FCS teams are having NILs.
That's correct.
Yeah.
They have to.
So,
They have to, or they can't compete.
And even Utica College, you're
Right.
an NIL guy for you.
I am an NIL guy. They got a basketball player. I give him like 100,
Oh, yeah, I
bucks
was
a
gonna
month or
say,
whatever. He does
I
some
thought you were
videos for me
talking to
at the
Coach
store.
Blaze there.
Yeah,
you know what I
Blaze,
mean?
Blaze, he works. He's a magician.
Or Heenan would have you like
He would have
a hockey team.
Yep,
there,
yep,
so.
yep, exactly. Yep.
But they've tried to put some legislation and some guard rails on.
Well,
Remember we had the coaches on?
If the NCAA can't do it,
They
I
can't.
think it may be Congress that has to do it.
They're begging.
They're begging Congress to
Right.
do it.
Well,
Yeah.
it may
Congress
end up. Well,
Congress is like, we got more important things to
well,
worry about.
and that's true. But on the other hand, when you're destroying college sports, I mean, and
That's what
I
it
just
is.
think it's, and look at those stadiums still, right? When you
Oh,
look
it's
at
an arms
Michigan,
race.
Tennessee, I mean, Ohio State,
Yeah.
Penn State.
It's an arms race with the facilities.
What arrogance of the head of the NCAA to be like, hey, we need Congress to step in. Meanwhile,
Charlie
like,
Vegas,
we need
what he said.
Medicaid, we need Medicaid assistance, we need housing, we need.
Well, as a former governor, I mean, he really should get this and should know how to put the
He's
right coalitions
tried.
together to get it done. But
Yeah.
well, then again, he was governor of Massachusetts.
right. Now,
Fantastic, you are correct.
Yeah, well, we should show him the Worcester Council meeting too.
I know. Oh my God! If we showed you the video on the Worcester Council meeting, Joe, it's a who's who in psychoanalytical babble. The people have lost their minds in this country, and it's not all Trump's fault. And I know we're going political here for a second.
Okay, are we segueing into the next?
Always
No,
go right to the next show. We've always done that. No, we always do that.
Yeah, okay.
We always do that.
You're gonna let me know when we're in the new show.
Yeah.
It's not. it's not all Trump's fault. There is, when they say that there's a mental health crisis in this country, there is. People want everything now. I think the internet has made information and knowledge so readily available at the tip of everyone's fingers. People don't want to put in their 30 years in a factory and get their retirement and then, go off into the sunset. They want their money up front now. They want to be able to spend it and enjoy it like they see the Kardashians do, or like they used to see P. Diddy do, but he doesn't do it anymore. But like how they see these people spend money.
Okay.
Right. No, I can't. Unfortunately, at this point, he's spending more on lawyers than anything else. But I'm just saying that the mentality of the youth has changed because they want instant access right now to everything.
Well, I would tend
instant gratification.
That's it right there. And it's you can see it. It's been demonstrated. You see it even with the changes and the societal changes post-pandemic with everyone wanting to work from home if they can.
Right.
And,
they want to. That's the first thing they ask on a job.
And you look at work ethic but who bears responsibility there? It's not only that this is a reflection of modern and contemporary society, but how about everybody wanted, and we've always looked at trying to make their lives better than the parents always want their children's lives to be better than theirs.
Yes.
Right.
But
right.
maybe when you look at all of this, there was
we're going too
some of the
fast.
nurturing was maybe a little too much to give them. And now there's this, because nowadays when you see somebody who just does the job, you think they're phenomenal. And I remember
Just
before that
showing
was
up.
expected of
to
you.
do it now. Yeah.
Now it's like, wow, that
he
person's
comes to work
genius.
every day.
Right.
Managerial material right
Right,
there.
you
Oh my
know?
God, he mopped the floors.
Right.
Get him
So
higher, raise, give him a raise.
It's going to be interesting to see what this all looks like in a generation, to be honest.
It's scary to me. To me, it's scary right now.
So the last thing I'll ask is about the Patriots.
Sure.
Because we've gotten a lot of comments about the Patriots. We don't talk about them enough. They have Drake May, the quarterback. They beefed up with some free agency signings. Do you think that they have a chance in the AFC East to win 9 games?
Yeah, I think so. I don't that's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, bottom line, you're looking at what I don't consider the Jets. We talked about it just a little while, but I don't know how successful the Jets are going to be.
They're going to be awful. Justin Fields is their quarterback.
Right, that's what we talk. Miami may have the same problem too.
Tua is overrated.
Tua is just injury prone. That's all.
He's overrated.
And
he's a lefty.
So Miami may have an 8-8 season, right, or a 9-8 season, I should say. But I don't think it's out of the realm of New England. Bottom line, Buffalo should dominate the division. But
New England actually has a good coach now.
Yeah, I would. I hope so. I hope so. Gerard Mayo was the plug. He was the plug. Yeah, he was the plug. He wasn't.
They announced him as the heir apparent.
I know, but I think they just needed to plug the initial the heart throbbing process of losing Belichick. They just didn't know how to approach it. So here's Gerard Mayo. He's right there. Throw him to the fire.
Yeah, and then fire.
If he's successful, he's successful. If not, get him out and get somebody else. But no, the Vrabel, I think, is going to do a fantastic job. I think he's a solid coach. I think he understands what he needs to be successful. I think they do have some of the parts. I'm so confused at New England because how do they not go out and get confused? Why does New England refuse to sign a big name wideout?
They haven't since Randy Moss.
Right. So they refuse to go with someone that could actually give them the potential to win games with big plays.
Well, they have drafted guys that have been busts.
Terrible across the board. The drafts have been terrible across the board.
And they haven't had the best free agent side.
They haven't. But my thing is that.
But you're all right.
There's a bunch of names out there every year that are top-notch guys that are close to free agency. You could get them in a trade or going into free agency and you can sign them. Yeah. And they refuse to do that, to give, they're bringing in these quarterbacks and they're expecting miracles.
Yeah. They're expecting to be Tom Brady.
A quarterback. Right. But a quarterback is only as good as his surrounding the group that's around him.
That's why the Brock Purdy has had the success that
I think so. I think so.
He has people around him.
Yeah. Right. So,
you're a facilitator.
So why not give someone like Drake May a big time target,
some weapons,
right? Pittsburgh goes out and signs Debo, right? So they've got him on or DK Metcalf. I'm sorry, on the roster. Metcalf, Washington goes out and grabs the receiver from San Francisco, right? Okay, so he's on the roster.
That's right. They brought him.
Right. So why does New England not make a move?
Yeah.
And bring one of those guys in that's available. They're out there. They're available. If you're a general manager, you know who's available and who's not. You just know. You know who's available and who's not. And they refuse to go out and get someone to boost the quarterback position.
Senator, we'll give you the last word. I know it's the Patriots.
Yeah,
I know you're a Buffalo guy.
No, I'm a Raiders guy. I don't mind Buffalo, but I
you
never
can give,
really
you can
followed,
give the Senator the last word all the time.
Never followed the Patriots, and like I said, I was not a big fan of Brady at the time, but I am now. Yeah, so and Belichick. I think he had some. Look, they built a strong team there, right? You can't take it away from Kraft. Kraft did, but
when he wasn't going to Florida,
right.
What's wrong with that?
But this is going to be interesting. I think that's what makes the pros so interesting, and the college game, really, though, right? Yeah. Because you have all these possibilities when you start. It's like opening day in Major League Baseball, right?
Yes.
We start, and then we'll see where everybody is on Super Sunday, which is getting later and later every year now. We're in mid-February now, so pretty soon it'll be the beginning of March. It's like the NBA season or the NHL, right?
Yeah.
So it just keeps going.
Exactly.
So.
All right. Well, another banner episode of Moneyline with the Senator.
We made it.
That's how great we are.
We made it.
Yes.
We're moving on to bigger and better things. Wait till this show comes up right now. There's going to be fireworks.
Sounds good. All right.
For the voice of reason,
that is me,
Cristiano, and our very special guest, the Senator.
Pleasure to be there. Okay.
All right. So I am the best podcast host for Steve Cully. Just remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and throw them at Bill Keeler.
There you go.